Good morning, students. Okay, in our yesterday's class, we have seen the concept of functions. I have defined the function as it is a piece of code separated from the regular execution of your program. So, whatever code we are writing in your main function, if we consider that as the regular flow, then what we do with the help of a function is we'll take a piece of code or a block of code and we'll separate that one from the regular execution. That is the reason why we can call the function as a subprogram or subroutine. Why we mention that routine means it is separated from your regular routine of the program. Okay, so generally why we write functions means in order to perform certain task. Okay, when we implement an application it is generated to perform number of tasks. So for each and every task we can put one related function, we can say. Okay, yeah. If you have created a single function, we can call that function many times. As many times as you insist, that many times you can call a simple function. Okay, so yeah, these are some of the advantages when we talk about a function. So the first one, modularity, then code reusability and code optimization. In order to do all these things, we use functions. In yesterday's class only we discussed modularity means dividing the big problem into smaller units and solving those smaller units separately, and finally combining the small solutions to frame the actual solution of your actual problem. Okay, code reusability, we are defining a function only once and we are reusing it many number of times. Okay, whenever we require that particular code to be used, simply what we are doing, we are calling that respective function in our program. In that way, code reusability is achieved. And code optimization, so when we are minimizing or when we are avoiding the repetition of code, automatically what we are achieving, code optimization. Optimization means writing the efficient code in your program. If you write the efficient code, we call it as optimized code. Okay. Yeah, this we discussed in your C programming as well. Functions, we said they are of two types. The first type, predefined functions. So when we talk about types of functions, they are of two types. So the first type we can call it as standard functions. This is the first type, standard functions, or we also call it as predefined functions, or we can also call it as library functions. Just the names are different, meaning is same. Okay, so when you say standard functions, we are referring to the same thing. Predefined functions, library functions, they are all defined by the developers. The code for these functions is given by the developers. The developers are responsible for writing the definition of these functions. And the second type of functions are your user defined functions. User defined functions. Yes, we as a user, we are going to define these functions. The user, the end user means the programmer, the person who is writing the program, he is responsible for defining, declaring and calling those functions. When we talk about these standard functions, what we do, we simply declare and call. We are not going to define. What we do with standard functions, that is nothing but predefined functions, we do declaration and we call. And definition, who is doing? Definition, the developer is doing. So every function will have these three things, as you know, the declaration, the definition and the call. So when we talk about standard functions, we do only declaration and call. The definition will be given by the developers. But whereas user defined functions, we as a programmer, we have to do all these three things in our program itself. We have to do the declaration, we have to do the call, we have to do the definition in our program itself. Okay, nowhere the developers are responsible when we talk about user defined functions. Clear? So functions, they are of two types: predefined functions, user defined functions. We have different names to those predefined functions, like standard functions, predefined functions, library functions. We can use any of these things. Okay, so predefined functions, the developer will give the definition, the programmer will declare it and call it. But whereas user defined functions, we have to do, the programmer has to do all the three. The programmer has to declare, the programmer has to define, and the programmer has to call that function. Okay, yeah, the declaration, the call and definition, how we do the declaration, how we do the definition, and how we do the call, already in our C programming we have discussed. That is the reason why we are not discussing that thing over here, because it is very same. Whatever we discussed in C programming, the same thing we do over here. Okay, when we use inside our programming, there you will see the difference. Okay, or else you just go to that C programming and you can refer over there how we can do the function declaration, how we do function definition, and how we do function call. Okay, so types of functions. Yeah, this is the declaration and calling. Yeah, we can see when it comes in your programming, we'll see how we can define a function, because the definition is very important. So when we do definition, we have to specify the return type followed by the function name and parameter list. After that, we are going to specify the body of the function with the help of a curly bracket. See, every function, every user defined function, when you define it in your program, will have a return type. Return type followed by the function name. Yeah, between return type and function name, we have to give the space, and then function name, and inside this parenthesis, set of parenthesis, we are going to specify parameter list. What we specify? Parameter list. And this about this parameter list we discussed in detail in C programming. So after this, we don't put any semicolon, and we will do the continuation with the help of a curly bracket. We'll start a curly bracket, and whatever code, whatever logic you want to write inside that, inside this function, that logic will write over here, and we call it as body of the function or code inside the function. Body of function, and after writing that body, we'll close it with a curly bracket. Okay, so return type, it should be a data type. It can be any data type, your primitive data types. Okay, there are many things that we have to discuss about this return type. When it comes in our discussion, we'll discuss in detail. Okay, so return type means what the function is going to return. After performing its logic, what type of value the function is going to return. That return type we have to specify over here. Let us assume that if the function after processing is returning an integer value, then we have to specify the return type as integer. I will give you one simple example for this one, for function definition. So let us say my function definition is going like this. So I am specifying the return type as void, and the function name is sum, and it is taking two parameters, int a comma int b, and then I am going to write the body, that is nothing but return. So as it is not returning, because the return type is void. If the return type is void, that means the function is not going to return any value back to the calling function. Okay, so those terminologies also we are quite familiar, because we already used that in your C programming. Like what is calling function, called function, actual parameters, formal parameters, okay. Yeah, these things we are already quite familiar, isn't it? Calling function. If a user defined function is called from a specific function, then we call that specific function as calling function. Okay, so let us assume I'm using main function. I'm using main function. In this main, I'm not writing any return type, any parameters over here to the main function. Okay, simply I'm giving the syntax over here. So main function, inside that main function, I'm using that sum function only, an example function like this. So sum of, let us say I'm passing a comma b over here. Then I'm writing the definition to this sum function, so that sum, I'm receiving these values inside int x comma int y. As this function is not returning anything, I'm specifying the return type as void, and inside this I'm going to write my code for that, printf. Okay, still because or else we'll go with this cout, because already we discussed. Now we are going, in order to output something, what we do, we use cout object, cout of, yeah, output stream operator, that is nothing but two less than symbols, output stream operator, cout output stream operator, and I am going to calculate x plus y like this. That's it. So basically what this program will do, here you declare the variables int a equals to 20 comma b equals to 30. So I'm starting my program, then I'm declaring two variables a comma b, a with 20, b with 30. Then this is my user defined function, sum is my user defined function. So I have to do the declaration. How we do the declaration? Declaration we have to do before the main. So void sum of int comma int, two integer type of variables I'm going to pass to this sum function. Sum is my user defined function. So this is my declaration. Then inside main over here I'm calling my sum function, sum of a comma b. So this a comma b, we call these two as actual parameters, because they are holding the actual value inside your calling function. This main is calling function because it is calling my sum function, isn't it? Who is calling this sum? Main is calling. Inside main I am calling this sum. So I call this sum as called function because it is called from main function. Clear? Sum is called from main function, so we call this sum as, called function, and main is my calling function. Then we have, after this we have the definition to this sum. So when you are defining the sum, you are receiving the actual parameters inside formal parameters. So whatever value you have inside this a, that will come into x, and whatever value you have inside this b, that will come into y. And this sum, these two parameters, we call these two parameters as formal parameters because they are holding the copies. They are holding the copies of actual parameters. So over here a comma b are holding the actual values. Because of that reason we call a comma b as actual parameters. And the function sum is called from the main function. So we call this main sum function as called function, and main is calling that sum function. So we call main as calling function. So these two are my actual parameters and these two are my formal parameters. How these actual parameters are different from formal parameters in the sense, whatever changes you do to these formal parameters, inside this called function body, those changes are not going to affect your actual parameters. Those changes, they are not going to affect your actual parameters. Changes made to the formal parameters, does not affect the actual parameters in this type of mechanism, in this type of calling. Clear? So in my next slide we'll see in detail how these call by value, how these parameters or actual parameters and formal parameters are going to affect our programming. Okay, thank you.